right, howdy everybody. Welcome to another episode of Video Raw. It's a very special one because it is the last installment of our Romero month. This has been, I want to say, a long time in the making, but not really. I mean, I think Todd really had this idea a few months back, and I actually committed to it. And
Hey, you were
I'm
gung ho.
now I'm over it because frankly, I'm Romero out. I've watched more Romero this month than I've ever watched in my entire life, like combined. So, what episode is this officially, Todd?
79. 79.
79. All right. So before we go further, we got a guest in tow. We got Will here, aka Gamer Guy Reviews, aka probably a couple other names. I don't know. Go ahead and pitch it. Like, is that your YouTube channel now? Is it Gamer Guy Reviews or?
Yeah, Gamer Guys Reviews. For those in the loop, I'm the gamer. I'm the guy with the reviews. But tonight, I'm the Romero guy.
There you go.
I mean, you've been killing it over there on that channel too, man. Congrats, man.
Yeah, a lot of work putting into those videos. I like.
Yeah, looks really good.
I've seen most of them. They're really good.
Thanks.
And I don't think you can be crowned the Romero guy. Well, Todd's always going to be the Romero guy, but we said it before we started recording. Will can't be the Romero guy because he did not suffer through every single film, so he's not the Romero guy. He's. I mean, that's. I'd be proud of that honor. I don't want to be the Romero guy right now.
I own every single film, even though I hate a few of them.
Do I? Well, I don't. I used to own Diary on DVD. I don't have it anymore. I don't own Survival. I'm sorry, and I don't own Monkey Shines. I'm sorry. So I guess you could be the guy.
Do you own Vanilla?
Yeah, I own Vanilla. I own Witch. I own every. Those are the only two.
I don't Park.
Well, no, I don't own that. Who released that?
I don't know. It was it Chillers or Shutter or something? It was cheap. It was like $12.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have Bruiser. Obviously, that's kind of hard. I don't have Two Evil Eyes yet, and I don't have Survival, so I have most of them. But anyway, before we get going, let's just shoot the breeze a bit. Let's kind of take the edge off. Todd had mentioned that something about a Hulk exploitation. Maybe it was before we started, but Hulk month. I think we got to do a Hulk Hogan month. Just to cleanse
absolutely.
the palate. And he's obviously got a lot less to tackle. And if you ask me, his batting average is better. No, I'm just kidding.
I think one of the streams we should do like a live play where I can play WWE or whatever. It's Hulk Hogan. We can do like a Royal Rumble sort of thing.
Well, I guess it depends on the game you want to play. They're not all created equally.
WWE? 2K?
Oh, okay. See, Todd's all obsessed with these games now, and he acts like they haven't been around for like 40 years. But
come on, man.
It's the first. So is it that good or something? I hear they're always
fun, man.
Aren't they always trash? Don't those WWE 2K games always get like ripped?
Yeah, I mean the older ones people love, but the newer ones, not so much.
Yeah,
I liked it. I haven't played it in 20 years, man. I'm having so much fun with it.
Did you get the newest one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read up on anything about the newest one, but yeah, like Will said, the last handful of years, it's just been Bug City and just not high marks.
No, I was playing. Who was I? I was Michael Jackson versus Donald Trump.
Oh. Did you create? They have
no, you could download people's characters they create or whatever off the server.
Okay.
So it could be like anybody. You can I downloaded Colonel Sanders. I downloaded. I mean, everybody, man. People upload all those all the time.
How's the online?
I haven't played online yet. See, I'm still trying to get my bearings and trying to get the moves down. So.
Well, maybe next time you're down, we'll play it. And the good thing is by the time you come down, that game will be like 99 cents because they're just annualized. They're just like sports games at this point. It's like they'll be worth. I do have a few. Like I've actually picked up a few over the past like 8 years. Like whenever you find them at Walmart, when it's like an old version, it's like $1. They just want to get rid of it. I've got a few of the years. Eric Breedlove says Ryan Reynolds. Is that you? Is that one of your buddies? Ryan Reynolds.
It's talking about me.
Oh, okay. I was like, do we have Ryan? No, I get it.
Everyone says I look like him. Everybody.
And Mac, if he would have joined us, he would have been Val Kilmer, a.k.a. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Yeah, let's say hi really quick to everybody in the chat. Silhouette, what's going on? Blaine, what's going on? And
Hi, Mendoza. I see you in the chat.
Where's Mendoza?
He just
Ishmael,
commented.
what's up? Where's Mendoza? Oh, there he is. I just
Hey,
wanted to
what's up?
swing in and say hello. Hello there, Will. Yeah, man. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about? Anything they've been watching or something? Let's start. Let's go around the table.
I'll
For
Okay.
start with the
me,
guest. Oh, okay.
he's at the end of the table. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, just start. What's new?
Well, I mean, where do I start? I mean, what do
Wherever
you
you
want me
want.
to talk about?
And what
No,
do you
just
watch recently?
yeah,
Anything? Or
yeah.
anything?
It's just if you've
Well,
watched
I've
anything of note, you don't feel like you have to say anything.
okay. Well, I mean, I've mainly been watching George Romero movies, except for
Yeah.
a couple. But other than that, I can't really comment on much. I'd have to double check my letterbox. I will say that I've been getting the habit of using letterbox more often. You know, cataloging what movies I watch.
Yeah, I love that. What's your handle on there? So people want to follow you. People
I
can
bel
follow me too. I like it. People follow me. I like.
Yeah. I think it's William Dude. I'd have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's William Dude. I have
I
my
li-
phone on me, so
I like how you said that thing a second ago when you were doing the whole except for a couple because it made it. You sounded like Jim Carrey. My friend Harry, the matchmaker. You did that. The matchmaker. Ooh, he's like forcing it down Harry's throat. It was good.
but yeah, I'm not as obsessively watching movies as you two, so it's more sporadic for me, especially now that I'm working again. Uh
Yeah. Well, we work too, but hey, maybe you play video games more. So, because how do you divvy up your hobbies? Because
eh,
I don't get to play. I don't make the time for games ever. Every now and a
yeah.
blue moon, if something comes out that I'll let myself get swept away with it. But even then, I always feel super guilty because I get nothing else done. Right now, I am playing FF7 Rebirth,
Okay.
but even that, it's not. It's not like Elden Ring where I just got engrossed, dude. I was gone to the world. The world was dead to me because Elden Ring stole me. And this isn't like that. Like literally, I have no problem putting it down. I pick it up once every handful of days. It's not really addicting to me, but it's fun.
Yeah. It kind of all varies because, like I said, right now I'm juggling a lot of things between work, the channel, and just enjoying myself, so I'm not overburdened by the other stuff. So it all kind of varies, especially when it comes to games, because I'm I'm very selective about what I play in terms of modern stuff. Because being honest, a lot of stuff that comes out nowadays just doesn't really interest me.
It's how
You
I
Yeah.
feel
know?
about movies too.
Yeah, I
That's how
mean,
I
it's
feel.
like just a lot of sequels, a lot of remakes. Some of them are good remakes, but they're still remakes. Now I know you're probably wondering, why don't you just play indie stuff? That's where it's at, bro. Uh,
What?
yeah,
So what are some good indie titles you'd recommend? Because yeah, I agree, man. It's
that's
like
the
that. Isn't that the
that's a good
meme right
question.
now that Sony's just doing nothing but remaking old titles, and that's
And I wish I could name some, but again, I haven't played any lately. I'm more into like the older stuff, 6th gen, 7th gen, because that was my stuff growing up, and there's like a lot of titles that I missed out on that, finally playing for the first time, like Metal Gear Solid.
oh wait. So you're talking about you. So you're like a PS2 kid, PS2 era
Yeah,
Xbox.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of interesting saying that because growing up, the only system I had was a PlayStation 1. I missed out on the entire PS2, Xbox, GameCube era.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so funny because if you look at my collection, I haven't offloaded any of my games that I've had in like the last 20 years. And I look at my PS2 collection, I look at my GameCube collection, that whole era, and it's really small, man. Like it just I
Hmm.
don't know what the deal is. It was super hot at the time. I don't think that was like a big gaming era for me, even though I liked it. But I'm looking at it right now. It's in a closet. Especially GameCube, man. I've got like a stack of game, and in the Wii, dude. I had the Wii. I got a stack like this big, and I had
Really?
for the whole, and I got a Wii launch day,
Yeah.
and I have nothing. But something happened with PS3. I think I got into video games a bit more, and I got quite a few PS3 titles. I was never an Xbox guy. And
See,
then
it's kind of
PS4, I had a ton too.
the polar opposite because like by like PS4, PS5 games, the collection of those is way smaller compared to like PS3, PS2, PS1, Xbox 360, etc.
Does that
So,
have anything to do with digital though? Because like you could have more of these modern titles digitally.
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, if we want to count digital, it doesn't even. It's obviously silly. It's not even fair to say that I got tons.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about physical. And then I actually have I might have more PS1 than anything because I got bit by the collecting bug about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, where it was my hobby. I pretty much on my days off, I just I just went to the local flea markets. I found found my spots. That was back when you could go to those places
I
and it
did
was
that
fun.
too. Yeah.
But it's like not fun anymore. You can't find
Yeah.
anything. It's a waste of time. But back in the day, it's like, my city that I'm from or I was living at the time, it wasn't too huge to where it wasn't hard to clear all the ground and really find all the places and see what places are cool and what work for you or not, whatever. And I got it narrowed down to like 3 places that were my haunts. And a Saturday comes around, I'd spend 8 hours, man, just going to these places and really just enjoying myself. And you didn't always find something, but every now and a blue moon you could find something, and it was all worth it. Now I live in the Phoenix area, and it's too massive. There's so many like outdoor swap meets. There's so many flea market. Like I just thinking about like actually trying to hit them all up to see which ones are good and which ones are not. I'm overwhelmed. So, and you couldn't find anything anyway. It's just everything's
No.
gone. I've gone to
Yeah.
a couple of outdoor swap meets, kind of like Pat the NES Punk and those are ridiculous. They're just like his videos where it's like everybody's overcharging for everything. It's like, what is this? And yeah, it's lame. But PlayStation 1, I got really into collecting because I had a lot of PS1 games back in the day, and it was my favorite system after the SNES. And sad story, I lost them all.
Damn.
My dad pawned everything I owned for drugs, fun stuff. And so I got hit with this weird bug, like I said, where I just wanted to start collecting all those again. And
Yeah.
yeah, so, but now it's just like taking up space. It's like in a closet. It's not even on display because I don't have room for it. And I've been like I've been entertaining just selling it because I got some decent titles. I've got money in there.
You
But
got Silent Hill?
yeah, of course.
Give you
Of course.
$5 for it.
Yeah, okay. I've got, not only do I have Silent Hill, I also have a loose disc Silent Hill with a generic case too. So I kind of have like a backup, like to play. But yeah,
I'll take the loose disc.
yeah. And I got our buddy Travis. I've got like his games too. Remember, I don't know how I got it. I, I found like this loose
Countdown
CD book.
Vampire.
I have this loose CD book and I don't know where it came from. And I found it like a handful of years ago and I opened it up and it's got loose copies of, that's where my loose copy of Silent Hill came from, by the way. So it's mine
Yeah,
now.
sounds familiar.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. I've had it longer than I probably, lived in, Omaha. But, and then I've got like and there's like Mortal Kombat Mythologies
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
PlayStation. Yeah. Countdown Vampires, Resident Evil Survivor, trash games, just a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it's fun stuff, man. I always say that I'm gonna crack open all
You're
that
not
stuff
going
and just
to.
play, and I don't. And it's just because it's not easy. There was a time where I did kind of do that, but then everything just technology changed, and now it's just not convenient. Everything's HDMI. I don't really have all the converter. I'm not doing all that shit. I don't have the technology to easily play this stuff anymore. I mean, could I? Yeah. But I'm not going to buy a CRT. I'm not going to be that guy and waste space in my house and have the old consoles up and running. I just, who can be bothered? But,
What about you, Aaron? What have you been watching? Anything?
well, so I have to juggle my time too. I work and then I'm doing the film, which is taking up a ton of time too. And then when I have to take care of the wife when she's home because she works. So when she's home, I got to make the dinner. We got to do all that. We got to tend to the garden. Then we got to have a movie. We got to watch something together. And then when we do that, she kind of usually picks. So the movies I've been watching are not fun. Because if she wants to pick, sometimes I get to pick. Like the other night, I watched Executive Decision with her. Whenever I get to pick something from my collection, I'm like, oh, thank God. And which I love Executive Decision. But before that, I had to watch Turbo, that like DreamWorks movie with the snail that wants to be a race car driver. So I have to sit through that bullshit a lot. But like if you look at my Letterboxd, it's not very Kino. Because you're gonna see like something Kino, and then you're gonna see something like Turbo or Tangled. I'm like, anyway. Jade Alicious. The username is hilarious. Big Willie Unleashed. And then Jade Alicious Turbo is awesome. Yeah, I mean, cool if you like it. I'm just, Anyway, so if I'm lucky, I have like a couple of hours to myself at the end of the night. And even that starts eating into my bedtime. Like, I'm not going to get 8 hours sleep. and that's it. If I want to get 6 hours of sleep, I might have 2 hours, and that's where it's like, okay, do I want to play a game? Do I got to work on this film some more, or do I want to watch a movie? So what did we watch? Yeah, I don't think I've watched anything new lately, man. I don't know. I can't really think. I've been rewatching stuff.
So
What
kind
about
of
you?
kind of like my situation. I mean, of course, kids. I mean, I get 2 hours a night, maybe if that. One wakes up crying, but the wife and I have been watching. We watched the program Cons, Colts, and Kidnapping. It was on Netflix. It's like a docu series, and it's pretty interesting, man. It's a cool documentary. I would recommend checking it out. But it's about like parents that send their kids to help centers for teens and stuff like that, and it shows the horrors of like some of these places, how they used to be, how they treat the kids and all that stuff. But it's pretty informative, and it's crazy, man. If you're into stuff like that, cults and stuff, I'd recommend checking it out, especially if you have kids, man. You'll never send your kids to one of these things after you watch it.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. I can't wait for. I'm just. I'm glad when we get to watch a series. Whenever she's into a show, that's usually a better batting average when it comes to watching something with the wife.
Is she into true crime? Because that's one thing we
Yeah,
bond over.
we who isn't? I mean, yeah. I just we started watching that, was it 1888, 1883? That
Oh
which one is
yeah,
it? Was Sam Elliott? Which I'll take it, dude. When we're into a series, that's better for me because it takes up less of my time to watch an episode, you know.
yeah,
And if
yeah.
you're feeling saucy, you watch two, and that's just like the same as a movie. Because the more time I can shave off there, the more time I get on the back end for like that one movie I want to watch. And usually the series we watch they're fairly mutual, so I don't feel like I got to suffer through a movie. I'm trying to change my name because everybody's like got cool names, and nobody memoed me. So Todd's now $3 bill y'all as well. I'm gonna be. Let me see. Should I be P Diddy's pilot?
Yeah.
P
There
Diddy's
you go.
pilot on that plane. Which, by the way, I have to say, talk about the biggest disappointment of my life. This P Diddy coverage. It's
Yeah.
like none. Like
None. Yeah.
what's going on? It's like remember that's all they covered was OJ back in the day,
Yeah.
nonstop. And even if they didn't have much, there was always like we're following closely. We'll update you as needed. Everybody was always checking in,
Yeah.
and literally, it's kind of clear from what I can understand that they have him. Like he's probably held up in a hotel somewhere. They told him not to go anywhere. It doesn't sound like he's gone because he wasn't on the plane. And this isn't even like the news doing this. This is like other people sleuthing and finding out and tracking his plane. Because like the news and nobody's following anything. And then there was that guy who took like the random shot of him at Miami airport. So
Yeah.
that's, once again, that's not the news. This is people keeping it alive. And then I think from what they can put together is he was probably going to the airport to get on said plane because that plane was leaving from LA, probably touching over there. They were probably going to pick him up.
Yeah.
FBI probably met him there. Like, no, hold the phone, Diddy. But then that's like all you get. So, but then you would think, all right, is somebody going to say something? So they probably got him. They probably got him in a room somewhere, probably a hotel, and they probably got close eye tabs on him. And they're probably, while they dig through everything, because the only thing that we got at like 2 days is, stuff we know. It's like, yeah, they took out all the electronics. Like, yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah,
And
but you think DHS would come out and actually say what they're actually looking for and stuff like that? It's like we're
well,
getting nothing on
they've
it.
come out and said it's a sex trafficking thing.
Yeah,
It's
you think
and
they'd be actually, I don't know, telling the public something? Don't you think?
you'd think the news would be intrusive about it,
Yeah.
trying to but nobody's like trying to cover it. It's the weirdest. It's really bizarre. I have to be honest with you. And everybody knows he was trying to skip the pond so he didn't get killed because believe it or not, P Diddy, even though he's worth $1 billion, he's a small fish comparatively.
Yeah.
There are sharks at large. And they're keeping an eye on him. They're like, I'm pretty sure it was Hillary Clinton was probably like, tasking the FBI. Is like, go get him. He's at Miami airport. Get that fucking guy. Get him. So, but I just feel like it's weird. I feel like it's weird that they're not talking about it. They're not covering it. It's really odd. Something has to happen. We have to get some news. Like
Yeah.
eventually days are going to go by and it's like, what'd you guys find? And they're either going to say we found nothing, which bullshit. Or, and eventually Diddy has to come out and say something. His lawyer finally said something today. right? Was it today?
Oh, I didn't hear that. What do you say?
His lawyer finally just basically said, he's kind of playing like the Trump card, like it's a witch hunt, like this is unruly. These, he finally made a statement, but no details about do they have him? Where is he?
It's funny to see some of these like 50 Cent's been going after him, saying
Yeah, he's a huge
stuff
troll,
on Twitter. Man. Yeah, it's great, dude. I like this. Like this stuff.
But the only people keeping this story alive right now is Twitter. Is people on Twitter, and so hopefully they can't just let this one go away because it's not like he's Epstein. Now, if he gets killed, then obviously that shit goes away. But eventually, people are going to be like, "Where's Diddy? Like, he's got a business to attend to. Like, he's got to say something. Is he hiding? Where is he?" So something has to hit. It's just a matter of when. Yeah, Ishmael, Diddy's creating the new T virus. He's in hiding. Yeah. He's in a secret lab underneath his mansion.
Hey, it is election year, so I'm sure it'll come out soon.
It's crazy, man. Is Caleb Squirrel Stapler is the best indie game? Sounds good. What is it like? Is that like Power Wash Simulator? Is that like just a sim? Blaine's been playing Borderlands for months. Caleb lost his movie picking privileges when he chose Black Dynamite for the wife and him to watch.
Hey, I love Black Dynamite's good, man. I like that movie.
Hey, and I think we've all been there, especially like when you're in that quote unquote honeymoon phase of your relationship. She had more of an open mind. Then at a certain point, it's just like, no. And it's like, I felt tricked. Dude, I remember she used to be like, "Oh, you introduced me to all the classics. I appreciate this." Like, "Oh yeah, like I love to hear that." Like, yeah, they're classics. And then, dude, there was a point where she's just like, "I'm not watching your fucked up movies anymore." Like, oh.
I did the Evil Dead dating game. So in high school, every girl I dated, we watched Evil Dead the first night, and I could tell if I wanted to be with her. If she actually, liked it or not.
Well, I mean,
not liked it, but can actually sit through it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest though. Like, how much of your movies does your wife really like?
She used to like a lot, but I mean, now we're married.
But that's what I'm saying. Did she really like them, or was it the ruse until you get to a certain point? It's like, all right, I don't have to put on this fucking charade anymore.
Well, I think my movies have gotten probably worse over the years. I mean, my taste in movies, I'm sure. So,
yeah, I don't know. Blaine, I watched Spit on Your Grave with my girlfriend and her lesbian friend. So bad. Wow. Her girlfriend, her lesbian friend.
Wow.
So what happened on that couch? Did you pick a movie like that on purpose? Did you you want to make them feel vulnerable? You want it to turn into?
Were you holding your junk the whole time? So
that's actually not the movie. Actually, it's not the movie to watch. That just gives women the bad ideas. Like, oh, this is what I can do.
Yeah.
Every man that's wronged me.
Don't take a bath with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and roll into it, guys. Let me go ahead and pull up these screens here. It took me a moment to get all this crap set up and all these stupid images. And God, you're dealing with 17 George Romero movies. And then I kept miscounting a million. Bad Boy 4 trailer, Ishmael.
I haven't seen it, man.
I haven't watched it. I mean, I couldn't be like less.
Have you seen the trailer for Late Night with the Devil? I just watched that, and I think who was saying that it was pretty good? Silhouette was telling me it was good.
Oh yeah. Okay, I did see Late Night with the Devil over the past weekend.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
Okay, it's in theaters now. It's not Shudder original. Or?
Yeah, it's in theaters, and it's funny because I was this close to seeing Ghostbusters, but then I saw they were showing Late Night with the Devil, and was like, good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. It looks pretty interesting, the premise.
Yeah, it's good. Like, the title of the movie kind of clues where you expect the movie is going to go, but it's really well done.
Is it gory or is it?
Oh yeah, there's.
Oh really?
There's gore.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out.
Hold on, I gotta put this stupid tier list in the same fucking window. So give me 2 seconds to re-add these images. I thought I was all set up, guys, but I just need 2 seconds. So lame. Isn't that movie though? Wasn't there like an article that was talking about it actually used AI? Wasn't the director saying in some aspect? I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was just for like some interludes that happened during the movie. That's it. It wasn't used anywhere else, just for some interludes, but people got upset.
What were they, like cascades, dissolves? What are we talking about?
We're talking like, we're going to cut to a commercial break, and then it shows the still, and
Mm,
the stills that were done with AI instead of an artist.
Mm.
I don't like
Okay.
that. I think why though? At
You
that
probably
point,
couldn't
just
tell. I wouldn't even say anything.
yeah, I wouldn't have even said anything. Like, why would you?
Yeah.
What's the point of that? Was it just to make a statement? Like, hey, look, we use it a little bit. Didn't mean we use all of it for everything. I don't know.
I don't know, but it caused an uproar.
Yeah, I think it's a little silly, but I'm gonna be a boomer about that stuff, I guess. All right.
Yes, Blaine, I am a pretty big Brendan Fraser fan, as you can't tell by the mummy poster.
All right. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna go and get rolling here. So Will, are you familiarized with
Can you put
with
us on the
the
side of the screen or something? Because
how do I
Yeah.
do it? How do I
kind of
do it?
covering up the
Well, how do I do it? Zach
uh
does it. How do I do it? Let me see. There's got to be hmm,
not that one. No.
I don't know how to do it. I don't. But Zach does it, right?
Yeah.
So stairs, edit mic settings. I don't know, man. You're gonna have to help out here instead of just chastising me. Figure out how to do it.
Push the button. There should be just a big obvious button. Just push it.
There's not a big obvious button.
Can you change the size of the actual tier maker?
No, I've got presentation mode. This is what you want.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So like if I do that, I mean, we don't want that. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Just deal with it, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Just
All
deal
right.
with it.
All right. All right.
All right, so let me go ahead and. All right, so you guys are gonna have to be Todd B. You're gonna have to be in charge of comments because I can't really see him when I'm doing this stuff.
Yep.
All right. So, but anyway, back what I was saying. Will, have you familiarized with the rules? You know how we do this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to let you start. I'm going to spin the wheel for you,
Okay.
and where the hell? Hold on, guys. Sword hide. Let's see what Will. See how he's gonna this.
Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money.
Oh, see,
Oh.
All right, so back to. I want to say really quick. So I have a certain set of rules set up here because I didn't want to do it like last time. I didn't want to like spread it across evenly. So how did I do it, Todd? I think I said we got 2 selections for S and A. I don't want to do 3
Yeah.
each because that makes it a little too easy. But 2 will
Mhm.
kind of keep it controversial. We're gonna like pad up the middle section. B and C, we're gonna allow 4 each. I think it was because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot's gonna be in that area. And then I believe D is 3, and I think F is 2. Once again, we're gonna kind of keep it like S, where you really want it to be the worst of the worst. So go ahead. How do you feel about Bruiser? This one's an interesting one, actually.
Have you seen this one yet? Well,
All
yeah,
right.
which ones did you not watch again? Just so we
Okay,
know.
so Bruiser was one of them, and as was the Dark Half, and what was the other one? Two
Two
Evil.
Evil Eyes.
Yeah, Two
Oh.
Evil Eyes.
Before the show, he gave me 2 titles. Now it's 3. Okay, so this actually is fun because Will can really fuck up the show now because no, you have to put him somewhere. So
Okay.
and you don't even know how you feel about these movies, so you might totally wreck it. So if he obviously it's
Well,
gonna
I'll let y'all debate.
yeah. How about we?
no.
how about we-
Will
Can we not
has to do it.
Can we not average them? So
No.
Okay.
Can I watch
No.
the trailer and be like, okay, this looks all
No.
right?
You had your time. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You just have to throw it somewhere. And
Okay.
like I said, there's
Okay.
still some tactics there because it kind of makes it.
Okay.
It
So
still takes up a spot. It still takes up one of your slots.
Okay. So, all right. D.
for Bruiser. Okay.
Yeah,
So
D for Bruiser.
now, is there anything about Bruiser you think might earn it a D? Just if you had to guess,
Peter Stormare's in it, and I love Peter Stormare.
but D's not good.
Hey, come on, that mask is cool.
Okay, so now we can talk about the movie a little bit. Peter Stormare is the best part about the movie. He's really funny. The
Yeah.
mask is really creepy. It's a fairly streamlined story, but you know what? There is so much weird bullshit in Romero's filmography that I kind of welcome Bruiser.
It's one of his
Especially-
better ones. I enjoy it.
Especially after, dude, after filling my plate with some of his more artistic stuff, it was nice to kind of watch just an hour and a half long Bruiser, a nice little simple story. I think Riverman and I mentioned before, it does have like a 90s stink about
It
it,
does, but that's cool. I like
but it
that.
doesn't. Yeah, it almost seems like something you would have caught on USA Network or something. Like back in the 90s, it's just kind of got that Burn Notice look about it. I don't know,
His
but
his wife in it was pretty smoke show too, so that helped.
she is banging. But no, and then I love the Michael Graves Misfits scene at the end of the Halloween party. I just think it's a lot of fun.
Tom
And
Atkins makes cameo. I mean, he's
it's
the
not a
top.
cameo. He's got a regular role. He's kind of like the Frank Langella
You see him in there for
role,
2 minutes of the movie, man.
but he pops in. He's still he's the guy on the case, right? He's investigating. But it's yeah, I don't know how Todd usually rates stuff or how you rate stuff, Will, but for me, you have a bunch of different stuff that's your criteria for liking or not liking a movie. For me, length is a huge one. Like even a bad movie, if it's really short and it's terrible, I usually give it a bump up because at least it respected my time enough to where it didn't. If I made a movie and I was trying to save it in the editing room and for whatever reason it just turned to hell in a handbasket, I'm at least going to cut that shit down. I'm not going to make people suffer through 2.5 hours of it. So, yeah, this movie's got a great runtime. It's totally fun. So, where would you?
I hope it comes out on Blu-ray eventually, or for something other than DVD.
Now, for me, I stuck this. I stuck this in B tier actually.
I do too.
Did you?
I gave it a 7 out of 10. I enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I stuck it maybe like towards the back end of the B tier, but
Yeah.
the reason for me, like S and A is easy. Spoiler alert, dude.
Yeah.
It's the middle that's hard because there is so much. I don't know. There is so much that's so deserving of the lower part of this, but then you have to start splitting hairs about like what you're arguing about which one's worse. Usually, it's like, oh God, he's got a couple of bangers. I'm having a hard time really deciding which one really belongs on S. George Romero's kind of asked backwards, where it's like, dude, he's got a lot of bad ones. Like, which one's gonna get the fucking worst? But anyway, so yeah, so D. So Todd, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna kind of go reverse today. Let's go.
Okay. Let's do
Spin
it.
the wheel. Spin the monkey wheel.
Okay.
Monkey. Oh,
Oh.
this is a very
Oh.
interesting one.
This is gonna be fun.
All right. Okay, I kind of wanted this one, but where you put it at?
See, I put this at a B tier. I haven't seen this in years, and I finally watched it last month. I really enjoy it, man. I think Tom Savini's awesome in it. He's funny. I don't know. Ed Harris is great. You think it's too long? I don't think it is. The stunts and like watching the stunts for 2.5 hours, I think it's cool enough. I think it's a lot of fun. The ending, it's kind of a old hippie-ish type of motorcycle movie, but I think it's cool, man. I mean, I'm glad that they ended up using motorcycles and not horses, like Romero was talking about, because originally he wanted to throw them on horseback, and he got vetoed on that. So
Yeah.
I like it, man. I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
We were talking about, what you said about me. I thought it was too long, so that's what we were saying in the last episode. This is a good case of what I'm talking about, where I had to put it in the C tier. And I don't think it's even a C movie, but he's got so much bad shit that this automatically is like upgraded to C tier just because there's so much bad stuff. But I don't like this movie. I thought it was, going back to what I said, the biggest thing that I factor in sometimes is length. And for me, this is a 90-minute movie, and there's no reason why it couldn't have been a 90-minute movie. And it's 2.5 hours, which is mind-boggling. And I literally was editing the thing as I was watching it. Like, why is this here? Take that out. Take this out. Take this out. And somebody just let the reins loose on Romero and let him do whatever.
It flew by for me. I mean, it was the total opposite for me. So I don't know.
I'm so happy somebody finally stopped letting him edit his own movies. Was this the last one? Which is this the last movie he edited?
I think this was the last one.
So yeah, that's his huge Achilles heel for me is editing. So for me, I put it in the C tier, but I don't know. I just didn't enjoy my time with it. But if it was a 90-minute movie, I would have appreciated it a lot more because it is bizarre. It's got an interesting concept. But what do you think of it, Will?
See, it was interesting because Night Riders was one of the first time watches for me, and I agree with Riverman, but I also agree a little with Aaron. I agree with Riverman in that it's a cool movie. The idea of a traveling Renaissance fair that uses motorbikes instead of horses is really freaking cool. And man, honest to God, I love the action sequences in this movie. The jousting scenes,
Yeah.
they're great. Ed Harris was great, Tom Savini, all of them were great. And it's funny because it's like you watch Night Riders and you're just the whole time I was like, oh hey, it's that guy.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
But at the same time, I can agree with Aaron that it is a bit too long because I was surprised at first, watching it. I pull up the time, it's like sucker's 2.5 hours long, you know. But at the same time, I wasn't bored because there was a lot interesting going on. Yeah, you could cut some of the subplots out and such, and definitely trim that fat a little. But I would definitely argue that I wasn't bored watching Night Riders. I'll say that. If it was a boring movie, then I'd be like, yeah, this needs to be short. Which I could definitely say that with some of the other movies on this list. But yeah, I really like Night Riders.
I like the ending too. I thought the ending was solid.
Yeah, so
I'm not going to spoil it, but it was
So,
solid.
it's very poetic.
Yeah.
but to your point, Will, Romero, and this movie's no different. Romero is a king of having a good concept but failing to deliver, especially with the early movies. Like
Yeah.
there's good concepts here, but the just execution is not there.
Well, I would say Night Riders is one of the instances where it does deliver on the concept for the most part.
I'm gonna see if this is how I fix this, guys, real quick. Hold on, disable picture layout. Issue one, disable the layout. This is currently active. What happens if I do this?
There,
Oh,
nice.
why was Zach fucking with this? Why on earth would he not want? Because it used to be like this.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, it used to be like this, and then somebody fucked up the settings. I blame Zach. Sorry about that, guys. Let's take 2 seconds to check out the comments here. Let's see. JFL, where's Zach? Zach did not. He didn't have all the films watched.
You can't handle this shit, man.
Well,
Too much for him.
he's somebody that just has to have everything watched so he can have. He's also a note taker. Like, when you hear Zach make lines and jokes, a lot of it's stuff that he's taking notes and he's waiting for it. And
Oh,
yeah,
that's
he's
actually pretty smart.
yeah, who'd have thought? No, he's actually this guy that really takes a lot of notes, and we don't. But there's a method to his madness.
Yeah.
See, Shaun of the Dead by George Romero.
Dankness.
Yeah, it's a movie. Blaine and F movie stinks. Ever tasted pussy in the pale moonlight? Septua, you fat. What's up, dude? You get that's an A comment. Here we go. Let's put it right there. There you go. All right, B all the way. Very atmospheric and weird. And then okay, well, you put it twice, so I don't know. I don't think I can. All right, so let's go ahead. It's finally my turn. But yeah, that's just that's the skinny with it, dude. There's quite a few of his flicks where I wished I liked him better because there's something there. But all right, what do I get lucky with? I hope I get an interesting one. Oh no, please no. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, hey, okay.
I mean, all right. All right, Land of the Dead. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so Land of the Dead, as much as I hate to do it, because he has so much fucking terrible shit, it automatically hit the B tier for me.
That's Day of the Dead.
That's Day of the Dead.
Oh yeah, that's Day of the Dead. Where's he at? Where's my man at?
I think it's in the middle. There you go.
There he goes, John Leguizamo, dude.
It's horrible zombie, dude.
Yeah, it's just one of these things where it's not a B movie at all. I think I've always thought it was fairly harmless. I don't think it belongs to be in the same breath of the original trilogy. And at the same time, it's also not really in line with a new trilogy with Diary or Survival. It's kind of on its own island. And obviously what could have been. if he would have gotten to make the sequel like he wanted to do, and they kept giving him more money at Universal, we probably would have a different trilogy that would probably be more fitting for. But this one is kind of the weird bastard child in a weird way for me.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like I said, I'm pretty kind when it comes to my ratings. What did you rate this, Todd? So I know I have a barometer. What did you rate this? Where would you have put it?
A B. I gave it a B as well.
Because you kind of have to.
It's a low B for me.
Yeah, I put it at the very end, low B. What about you, Will?
I gave it a C.
Okay, so you put it on the C.
It's more in the middle for me.
For me though, like if my personal ranking, it doesn't feel overly long. It's totally harmless. It's not like painful to the eyes. It's not particularly exciting, but it's also not. It doesn't like bore me. Like it's like you're in it enough. It's like you kind of get from point A to point B. It does an all right job taking you there. It doesn't feel bloated. And at the end of the day, it's harmless. I'm not like inspired to watch it over and over again, but at the same time, it doesn't like outwardly offend me. Some people will take a movie like this, or even some of the movies that we're going to have in here, and they'll just be like, "Oh, 1 out of 10." I'm like, have you seen bad movies? Like I have to like have a barometer here and something to compare it to, because there's a lot of bad movies out here, man. There's a lot of terrible movies, and yeah, I just it takes a lot for me to really just take you through the ringer and give you super
It's
low
not a
marks.
great movie. It's a movie you don't remember. So like I watched a year ago. I don't remember anything. I mean, I remember a few scenes, but it doesn't stick with you. But
More
it's
often,
yeah.
more often than not, the way I treat Letterbox, for example, if I can make it through the movie and I can get through it, and like I got through it okay, whether or not I was particularly inspired or it's at least a 5 out of 10. I don't
yeah.
like it. I don't hate it. It's just kind of whatever. It's filler. And if you look at my average scores in Letterboxd, most of my stuff is like 5 and 6s. And that's kind of the way I think it should be. I think you really have to earn a 10, and you really have to earn a 1 or a 2. Like I think it's hard to earn those scores.
Well, and I'm kind of like that, but I'm more 6 and 7s with a lot of these. And you grade it a little harsher than I do, Aaron. A lot of these movies in general. It's just the way it is.
I'm trying to say I'm really kind with usually me rating stuff, but you're going to see that, in my opinion, Romero really, he plays the field, dude. He's earned some bad ones, he's earned some good ones, and he's earned a lot of middling stuff. But we'll get to that. So Will is up to bat.
All right. Hope it's one I actually seen.
Hey, better. Hey, better.
All right, come on. Big money, fast money. Double points.
Monkey Shines.
Oh, okay.
All right. How about that?
Zach's favorite movie.
Where are we putting Monkey Shines, Will? And justify it. Tell us why.
Okay, so Monkey Shines is another D.
D.
It's D for dull because 3/4 of it, not much has happened. Then you get to the final fourth where he finally, he kills the monkey and whatnot. Then it's actually kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, I put it in D as well. And I have to tell you, dude, my D and F sections, to the layman, they could all be interchangeable, but I really had to like split hairs because we are in bad Romero territory here. Yeah, it's a D. It fell into D for me too. This movie is boring, and I used to see this cover all the time at rental stores, and
it's a great poster.
It's very eye grabbing.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted to watch it, and now I'm like, God, I should have just kept it a memory. I should have kept it something I always wanted to see. I should have left it at seeing that poster and being taken from it. But no, I watched it, and then it's terrible.
Yeah.
No, that's a pretty good score, D to an F. I mean, this is shit to me too. I mean, I rewatched it again, and I thought I would like it. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I don't like it. So, more power to Zach. But the ending scene is probably the best part.
Yeah, I mean, Monkey Shines is one of those movies that it would work better as a 30-minute Tales from the Crypt episode versus a 2-hour movie.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's what we said on the last episode exactly, because in my opinion, this is how bad Romero has sunk. This movie legit is a 1 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
it's bad, and it didn't even make the F tier, so that tells you what's coming.
Yeah,
and so I just feel it commits the biggest crime for me. it's too long for what it is. It's if you're gonna be this fucking boring and vanilla and bland, don't stick around too long, man. Don't. But yeah, if we said this last week, if this was like a Tales from the Dark Side episode, which it kind of does have that stink about it, feels like it. Dude, I would have been invested enough for 25 minutes. You could have like really kind of told something cool with it, fine. But at 2 hours, I check out. Like, dude, fuck you for not respecting my time, and all the above. So yeah, I think we all agree there. Fuck monkey shines. All right, Todd, what are we gonna do about this? Oh, sorry,
Oh, you have a winner.
you didn't get the
Monkey
clap.
shines.
I didn't leave it on there long enough. Okay, Todd, let's
Give me
go.
something good. Come on.
Spin that wheel.
Something
Spin that
easy.
wheel.
Oh,
There you
oh.
go. Okay, we're gonna get. Let's just get comfortable in this
Oh, my
bottom section. Let's just stay
Oh.
comfortable. We're not going anywhere, guys. So, is this a D or an F for you? Let's just jump right to it.
Is it? Oh, so it finally stopped. Okay. So this is an F for me. This was
Ooh.
my not my FF, but this is my F plus.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that actually like this movie, but man, it's so painful to get through. It's
Yeah.
more painful than Monkey Shines to get through, in my opinion. Did we kind of talk? We kind of talked about it last week, right?
Yeah. Well, we talked about every movie last week. Remember? we did the whole retrospective. This one for me, because like I said, the competition is stiff for his bad stuff. By default, it made a low C for me. Actually,
Low
I
C.
believe,
Wow.
dude. I don't think it's a C movie. But I'm just saying the competition was stiff. I could not bump any of these other terrible movies. I'm like, you know what? I hate to say it. It really hurt me to do this, but for me, it was a C. But I look at it in pleasure at the F category. so I'm
Timothy
glad you did.
Hutton, it makes it an F, dude. He is the worst freaking actor. I think I cannot stand him in this movie. And seeing him twice, double and two Timothy Huttons, man, no, I can't do it.
Okay, interesting. Well, just imagine yourself fucking his wife, getting him back. For all that time. All right. So
And like the movie's like 2 hours long, isn't it? It was like two. It was
it's
way
long.
too long for
Dude,
it was.
It's long. I don't understand what people's obsession is this. Like, you really have to earn that runtime. I don't understand the audacity of some filmmakers.
All right. Round and round she goes. Nobody knows where she goes.
All right.
Damn
Okay.
it.
I'd rather talk about Two Evil Eyes than Two Evil Eyes. So really quick, Will. So you didn't watch Dark Half or this one, right?
Right.
Okay, so Two Evil Eyes, it's a anthology, but it consists of two films. The first one, The Facts in the Case of Mr. Valdemar. They're both based on Poe books. This one was done by Romero. The second one, The Black Cat, was by
Argento.
Argento.
Yep.
I don't know, I can't fucking talk today. And this one's weird because it's like, oh, so my mind immediately goes to how I rate the whole movie, because you kind of pick a both part, maybe a law of averages, but just if we're just gonna pay attention to his portion, I think I liked it better than Todd. I think it's totally solid. I think
It's too long for a short, in my opinion.
for me, in the grand scheme of things, when we're talking about all his work, this is a total B at least, right, for me. And honestly, for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this right here, guys. I don't care.
You're crazy. No way.
Yeah. Look, Romero's is shorter than Argento's, so it's got I think if I recall, it's got like a 2-hour runtime. Romero's is only like 45 minutes, and
It's like 50
Argento's
minutes. It should be about 30 minutes.
and Argento's is like an hour and 15, and that's got that's got Bad Lieutenant himself in there, and I think if you want to talk about the whole Two Evil Eyes as a package, I'd say it's consistent. Like I'd say they're in the realm of equal quality, but I think I'm going to veer towards Black Cat.
Yeah, Black Cat.
Just because I don't know, I really like the performances in that, and the payoff in the Black Cat's really cool with the chick in the wall and stuff, and the cat's eating her. It's pretty neat. And with Harvey Keitel, he's such a good actor. I love towards the end of that where he knows he's like cornered and he's just like freaking, he's acting like a total spaz, like when you're found out, and the cops are in the house, and I think it's a lot of fun. So it's one of these things where I guess I think about it differently than Todd. There's something about anthologies that get a pass for me because this is not a 2 hour long movie. This is 2 installments. This is a 50-minute short and like an hour and 15-minute short. So when there's something about that breakup. I think it's something to do with that same psychology of people don't want to sit through long movies, but they'll fucking binge an entire season over a weekend of a series. Like, because there's something about those natural breaks, like just mentally. It's like you can stop, even if you want to watch 4 episodes. It's technically you've sat there for 4 hours. I don't know. That's how I feel, but
I don't
dig.
know. I mean, watching Creep Show and then watching this. I mean, it's like
Oh yeah,
Adrian Barbeau is. I mean, she's always great and everything, and she's the best part in this movie. But that's about it for me.
well, nobody said this was better than Creep Show. I'm not saying that.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just saying this. This is a weak story in my opinion.
Yeah, but once again, if Romero had a stronger overall catalog, this would be low. But he doesn't. Romero has a lot more terrible shit than he does.
Would you
even
rather
average
watch this
stuff.
than Land of the Dead? I'd rather watch Land of the Dead than this.
I would rather watch this. I would rather watch this than Land of the Dead, and I would rather watch this than Night Riders. 100%. So it's just one of those things where it's not my fault Romero has like fucking stacks upon stacks of terrible D's and F's and C's that bump up. You know, they say the cream rises. I wouldn't even say in Romero's case it's the cream that's rising. It's the mid stuff that's rising up because of all the rotten shit at the bottom. So, but I'm fine. It's totally serviceable at the B for me.
It's fine. I'm not gonna die on that hill.
All right, Will, let's see what hill you're gonna die on.
Oh, okay. Famous last words. Oh.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested in
this one's a fun
right.
talking point.
Yeah.
Where are we putting crazies for you, my man?
All right. You may agree, you may disagree, but honestly, the crazies was a C for me.
I disagree, but it's your turn. So
I agree. Go ahead, Will.
Okay. So again, the crazies was in our first time watch, and having after watch, there's always Vanilla and Season of the Witch. This was a nice upgrade. Now, the crazies is far from perfect, as you two discussed in the earlier episodes, but there's a lot I like about it. And there's also a lot that doesn't work. I think the two things that stick out to me are, one, the crazies, because by and large, when you hear a name like the crazies, you expect them to act like maniacs, and they don't really act like maniacs.
they're zombies.
They're creepy, but I don't know.
Well, they're occasionally creepy, but most of the time they act like they're on edibles.
Yeah, they're bath salts. They're Florida men. Right.
Yeah, and then also I just feel like pacing wise, it does drag a bit, but that's just me.
Oh, go fucking figure. Who directed it?
Well, it doesn't drag as much as some of the other ones that we haven't gotten to. Let's put it that way.
You did it right. So the way this benefited by you watching them in chronological, because you watched Vanilla and then you watched Witch, then this, right? That I'm sure helped, because to me these three movies are a bit of a trinity, and there is they get better and better and better, which is the way it should be.
Yeah.
And so that probably helped it for you. For me, this is another example of great concept, muddled execution. Everything on paper is cool, and when you watch a movie like this, I said this on last week's episode, you can see where maybe Danny Boyle got his idea or inspiration for 28 Days Later. You definitely can see where like Resident Evil got their inspiration. Like the Crazies is like Resident Evil 3 intro movie. It's just like, hey, we're going to nuke Raccoon City. There's an outbreak. Everybody, and you got the guys, the hunks and the gas mask. It's a very similar vibe. So I got to give it its credit. But with that said, this is one of those examples of, hey, Hollywood, instead of remaking movies that were awesome, which is a fucking no-win battle, remake movies that had a great concept, but they kind of failed in their execution. So that's why I think a movie like Crazies is like an ideal candidate for a remake. I know it got a remake. We won't talk about that, but you know what I mean? Like this is the kind of movie that it's and yeah, it's a little better than the previous and a little better from the previous, but the editing is still it's problematic. It's got really weird, dude. That something about that trinity of films. His shot choices are really fucking odd. His everything about his, he's a cinematographer too. His
Yeah.
cinematography overall is really wild. The cutting is his transitions are fucking weird. Like they all scream. Like this one does get a little better than the previous two. Like I said, he's getting better, but it's still screaming a little bit film student for me.
Yeah.
Well, he had no
And
money, so yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
and
but
the special effects are very
but but
iffy.
but Todd keeps making that excuse. Budget has nothing to do with you holding a camera, setting up a shot. Now, it does have something to do with the time, right? Like you probably only have so much time. You probably have enough time to, you know, get your master shot in like two other angles and you got to fucking move on. That's great. But a guy like he still should have planned that shit out. Like I don't think this is the time to get experimental because time is money and you don't have it. So it's like let's do all these fucking weird. I don't know. It's just and then yeah, the special effects are one thing.
Yeah.
You have that really jarring priest effect where he lights himself on fire and it turns into this fucking weird ass dummy. And it's not even just the dummy. It's the cutting. It's the jarring cut of like when it's behind his back and it's
Yeah.
everything is so unnatural and it's just it to me it's distracting to the eyes. It's painful to watch. But like we're getting a little better now. I would be way more forgiving if Vanilla was his first movie, Witch was his second movie, and this was his third movie. But the problem is he totally fluked out and made Night first, and Night is great. It's just it's like he had a fluke because he was hurting for the next few movies. But yeah, anyway. But see, all right, Todd, I'm waiting to get some.
Yeah, let's go to the chat real quick and just
Yeah, and I can't wait to get to some heavy hitters because that's where it's going to get interesting.
yeah.
Let's see. Is Night of the Living Dead 3 on this list? You mean
The 3D one with Sid Haig? I don't think
oh
so.
yeah. We're foregoing all the cash-ins of Night of the Living Dead. We're gonna do Festival of the Living Dead by the Soska Sisters that's coming out. Have you guys seen that? That trailer
We are gonna
What?
do that.
it's terrible. The
What?
Soska Sisters are making a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, the original Festival of the Living
Oh,
Dead.
I was reading about one that's like Night of the Living Dead 2, and it stars some of the cast from Day of the Dead. Y'all know anything about that?
No.
I don't know. There's just what
Yeah,
else are they
let's.
doing?
That's just the whole can of worms. That's not worth opening.
Yeah. So Eric Breedlove interested to see where Creepshow and Dark Half ended. Well, we saw where Dark Half ended up. I'm looking forward to talking about Creepshow for sure. Uh, doesn't even feel like a Romero film. Which I'm sorry, I'm not up to date here. We're we talking about crazies there. Hey, this is a great comment. Crossbones Koopa, welcome to the chat. Did George Romero did the George Romero Resident Evil 2 game trailer make it? That's the Japanese game trailer. It stars Brad
Oh.
Renfro as Leon. That I mean, I didn't even think about it. We could have put it on there for fun, but it's a fun. You've watched that, Todd, right?
Yeah. I've seen that.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
cool, man. It's like
Yeah.
that's what it captured Resident Evil way better than the movies ever did. And have you seen that, Will?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really good.
it's fun. It's a great advertisement. That's it's obviously if we had a movie that looked like that, it'd probably be like, what is this cheap shit? But as a game advertisement, it's fantastic.
I'm looking forward to that documentary they're working on about the George Romero Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks cool, man.
Well, and then we were talking about that. It's a shame that it was supposed to be out the first part of this year, and the fact that we still don't have a date, I was hoping we could have it at the same time. I wish it was done so we could include it, or we would have done a whole episode on it this month. But
Yeah.
when it does drop, we'll do something for it because
Cool.
yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. Whose spin is it again? Todd's?
Mine, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to getting some of these heavy hitters to see how we can shake it up a bit.
Oh. Nice.
Okay, Creep Show. Todd, where do you put Creep Show and how do you justify your choice?
So I grew up watching Creepshow. I grew up reading the graphic novel, the comic book thing that came out too. I don't know. This movie I love, man. I think it's fantastic. I love all the stories. I don't know which one's my favorite. Because of course Father's Days is great. You have the one with
Where's my cake?
yeah, where's my cake? You have the one with Stephen King. You have the one with Ted Danson, and the one with Adrian Barbeau. And then you have the cockroach one as
Ugh.
well. They're all great, man. I gave this an A. It's fantastic. It looks fantastic. If anybody hasn't seen this on a Blu-ray or a 4K, they both look immaculate on screen. So, highly recommend watching it on like a Blu-ray or a 4K because it looks great. It's a comic book, man. It's a comic horror, and I always I don't know. I There's something about it. It's because the first Creepshow 1 and 2, I think Romero did the he was a writer for a Creepshow 2,
He
which
was
is
a
great.
Yeah.
writer for 2. He wasn't for the first one. Yeah.
But I mean, the first one's great too. So I mean, these 1 and 2 are pretty much
They're close. They're
close.
they're
I would say the
comparable.
first one's better, but yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So this is the one I wish I was gonna. I wish I got this one because to me I wanted to throw a wrench in it because this is one of the S's for me,
Ooh.
and I wanted to get this so it derailed a couple. Because I know where Todd's S's are gonna be, but the fact that he got this, it's just teeing everything up for him. So, but yeah, I think it's in the overall realm and spectrum of Romero movies. If we're only getting two S's, two A's, it's my second favorite Romero movie. So it was definitely in the S for me. But where did you put it, Will? Just out of curiosity.
This one was also a tough call because part of me wanted to give it an S like you, but ultimately I decided to land it with an A. Now, granted, it's like A plus plus, but it was real close because I love Creepshow. I think it's one of the few anthology movies where like all the stories are great. Usually with anthology flicks, there's like
There's a
one
weak
or
one.
two that aren't
Yeah.
bad, but even like the weakest Creepshow story is like good.
I don't know if I agree with I agree that they're in anthology films. There's usually one that's obviously the weakest,
Yeah.
not necessarily bad. You can
What's your
think of
favorite? Is
something
it
like
the crate?
something like
Okay.
body bags is a good example, right? It's like but go ahead.
Okay, as far as favorite stories go, oddly enough, my favorite has always been the Lonesome Death of Joy Verdell, mainly
Oh,
just because of Stephen King and his hammy acting.
Yeah, yeah.
great visuals too.
Yeah,
You know,
and as far as weakest one, that's a tough one. I would say they're creeping up on you just because that one's simply for shock value. Like, look at all these
Mine
cockroaches.
too. Yeah, something to tide you over is probably my favorite still.
Yeah, something to tide you over is a close second.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
can hold my breath
Mhm.
for a long time.
'Cause I love Ted Danson, man. He's great.
Yeah.
he's fantastic. All right, so it's my turn.
What was your favorite, Aaron? You never told us.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you, Todd.
Okay.
100%. Um, what's your favorite in two? Curious, real quick. Bonus, like the
Everybody
raft,
says the raft. I love the raft. I also love the I love the Indian one too. Yeah,
Indian's fun, dude. I
yeah.
I think the raft gets it by a hair,
The
maybe.
raft used to creep me out a lot when I was a kid. So
I
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of the hitchhiker one, mainly
yeah,
because of that actor. Thanks for the ride, lady.
All right, so I want this to get a little sticky, so hopefully I'll get a good one here.
Okay.
And I don't want to I don't want to get one I agree with Todd on.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
this is about as good as I could ask for because this shit is not going in S. Uh, because I know Todd probably had it in S, but not to jump the gun here. Let's see, Bub. I just want to make sure. Now, by default, it's in my A, right? But
In your butt.
but yeah, but it's not Dawn of the Dead, guys. It's not Dawn of the Dead, and I like if we're talking about the zombie movies, it is not Dawn. And to me, it's not even up there with Day, but it's not. I like Creepshow better than this. It's good. I feel
Okay.
like it's got some editing problems a little bit. I think there's a portion of the movie that gets a little slow for me. It not too bad. It's not that bad, but I don't like Todd. I get it. It's part of the vibe. The tone of the movie's too bleak. I get it. You could argue that's the whole thing.
It's
I don't like the tunnels. I don't like the setting. It's just
I love the cave. I think it's a
Yeah,
fantastic setting.
it's scary, dude. It's
It's
scary.
it's very claustrophobic, and it's being this ginormous cave, you don't know where it'll end.
the problem is the only real problem with this movie is that it followed Dawn. That's it. So yeah, the caves are fine. The characters are cool, but there's just nothing about this movie is as good as its predecessor for me. This it's not as cool as the mall. The characters in this, while cool,
But
are
we're not we're
not.
not we're not we're not we're not basing it off of Dawn of the Dead.
But I am, and that's it hurts it. I can't help it. I can't help it. It does. It's just that's why it's an A. I'm not giving it a fucking F. I'm just saying it is. It hurts it. I mean, dude, you don't watch Land of the Dead and you don't compare it to the one that came before it. Of course you do. Of course we all did when we saw it in theaters, right? Um, but it's solid. It's got great gore, of course. Everybody talks about that. It's got the one-liners, choke on 'em. It's got cool kills. Bub is fantastic. Bub is the highlight.
Dr. Frankenstein's
The
fantastic.
Yeah, he's fantastic. The actor who plays Bub, he outacts everybody without a single word.
Oh yeah.
He's got the stealing show scenes in the whole movie. So it's good. I really like it, but it's just, it's not an S. But and also it's not an S just because I just like Creepshow better. I had to be honest with myself. So there's only two, so it's
Yeah.
not gonna be an S. Creepshow's fun, dude. Creepshow is just so much fun, and I had to put it ahead of it. But yeah, I don't know, Todd. We can ask you what you think of this movie. I know what you think of this movie.
I
Where
think
did
I think you should put it ahead of Creepshow on that list right there.
Nope, sorry.
Well, you put the other one ahead of Night Riders, so
What are you talking about? Yeah, well, no, and that was my choice because it was on my turn, and this is my choice, and I'm keeping it back here. So, so
well, my choice, I put it behind Dawn.
no. Where did you? It's not your turn, but where
Oh,
did
this,
you?
this is my S tier. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. What about you, Will?
Day of the Dead was also an A. Now, in my opinion, I think Night, Dawn, Day, they're all equally great. But you have to pick your favorites. And even though I used to like Day more when I was like younger, like 5 years ago, I've honestly opinions have changed, and now it's like I like Day slightly less compared to the other two. I still think Day is great, but it just I don't know. Something about it just like it doesn't click with me like it did like when I first discovered it like 5 to 6 years ago.
Blaine says it's a perfect sequel, A plus. So
Preach.
for for me, it's on the A tier,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it always sounds like I'm being harder on Day of the Dead than I really am, because I think it's a 7 out of 10, which is a really good score. Once
It's a 9.
again, it's just where for me it's in the discussion of the overall Dead movies, and there was just such a huge gap for me between Day and Dawn. But it's good.
So
It's
what
just
what
in
do you
the
give
shadow.
what do you give Land of the Dead if you gave Day a 7?
Oh, land's like a 5 on a good day. It's harmless.
Oh,
It's
okay.
harmless. Well, we need to wait till we get to the fucking diaries and survivals. That should be your barometer, dude. But to me, land being right in the fucking middle is exactly where it should be. It's like I don't exactly want to kill myself yet, but like I don't, it's just like whatever. But yeah, so we're up to bat, Will, right?
All right, here goes nothing. Prepare your anus.
Dude, he's got a lot of movies, man. We still got 8 more. Gosh.
Oh no.
Oh, best part about this movie is the Donovan song, but spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
yeah. Great song, crappy movie.
All right, so where are you putting this bad boy?
All right. This was a tough one. I might be slightly generous, but I gave Season of the Witch a D because
Okay.
I think the premise is okay. The premise is okay, but man, this is one of the ones where it's too fucking long. It's an hour and 40, and man, I felt it because there are just large portions where nothing happens. And now, granted, this wasn't our first time watch, but still, there were scenes where I'm like, you could trim this down.
Well,
I think the one that sticks out to me is when the wives are at the party and the dude's goading the one lady to smoke a joint. And it's just like, all right, when's the scene going to end?
It
That's tough
is
age for you, though, man.
total an F for me, dude. So and I
Really?
get it. Yep. And you know what?
Oh.
It's really hard. I know there's some bad movies in here we haven't named yet. And for the fact that this is an F, it probably gives you ideas on like what did I not put an F that should be an F. I get it. But at the end of the day, this is that natural progression from Vanilla. I get it. Where Vanilla had nothing fucking going for it. This movie has a concept. Right? Like Will said, it's got an idea there. It's neat. And it's doing the whole 50s nuclear America, nuclear family housewife shit, and she wants to be with. It's
Horny
cool.
Housewives, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a commentary there, but it's fucking boring, and
Yeah.
it's not good. It's a little sleazy, which is kind of cool, but it just misses the mustard on it for me, man. So I put it as one of my Fs
Wow.
personally. It was like I said, this is where the boredom factor and it comes into play, where that is really important. If this movie just wasn't so fucking boring, I would have been kinder to it. But
We definitely have different tastes because
sometimes I will take a bombastically bad movie over a boring movie. That you know what?
That is true.
I don't consider it boring. I actually enjoy this. I like the main actress. I find her
Yeah.
compelling,
In
man.
small doses.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
fine.
Like looking at, she has a look to her that I actually dig, and
That's
she's
so
interesting.
funny because I was actually going to say she looks really butch and like a man in drag. I was looking for the Adam's apple the whole time.
No.
Now we know what Todd's into.
I'm not saying she looks like hot, but I'm saying she has an interesting look to her, which kind of drew me in. So I actually enjoy this movie. I gave it I put it in my C tier.
Wow. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so we're kind of all over the place with that one, but like I said, it's got a concept. It's almost there. I just don't think. I don't want to give like participation trophies here. Just, I mean, you have a good. Honestly, if you have a good idea, it's like I don't.
I'm not giving participation.
I'm
trophies, believe me.
I'm gonna be more mad if you fuck up a good idea. Actually, at this point, because Romero's fucked up a lot of good ideas. He's fumbled a lot, but I'm happy worst placed. I'm not gonna argue. But like I said, I wouldn't have put Dark Half quite that low, just because we're getting into the nitty gritty here. We're really. So,
All right.
is this Todd?
Yeah.
Yes.
Spin the wheel.
Oh no. Oh,
All right, we know
damn
where
it.
this better go where it has to go, Todd. You know where it's got to go. You know you're itching for it. You're hungry for it.
There's
Don't mess with us.
Something about this movie that I don't know. Kind of,
Don't
Come on.
you watch it once and it just kind of sticks with you.
Come on,
It's
come on.
it's a fun watch, man. I know it's not like his
Oh.
other.
Say
his
the
other
word. Stop
horror
trolling.
films,
Stop trolling.
but
2 words, man. 2
there's-
words.
There's always Vanilla. Just it's one that I always go back to. So I would put it in a C tier.
No, fuck
No.
off. Come on, give us the real answer.
It's an F. It's an F.
This is the
Okay.
worst. This is not only his worst movie by a long stretch. It is. I think you really have to earn those like 0 out of 10s. This is a fucking as low as you can get. It is boring. There is nothing. You always read that it's supposed to be a romantic comedy. Fucking went over my head. Is this what that's supposed to be? It's just so wacky. It's just a random. It's a student film. It's a random student film, and he's trying to cram in everything from like fucking drug propaganda and fucking hippie. I don't know what is this movie and Always Vanilla. This movie and Season of the Witch. While, like I said, Season of the Witch was a little better. Both movies, I found myself losing myself. Like, what the fuck's going on? There was moments. There was less so in Season of the Witch. This one, try as I might, paying attention really closely. And I blame it to the editing and all kinds of... Dude, I was like, what the fuck is going on? They would literally show shit in this movie. I'm like, what is this? Have they established this? Am I fucking crazy? What is going on? It's bad.
It's
Terrible.
bad. It's bad.
Will, you want to say something? Come on, man. Agree with me. No.
It stinks.
It stinks.
There's not much I can add to Vanilla that you guys have already said because honestly, the whole time, the movie felt like one of those Lifetime original movies. But even then, those have more going on than what's happening, and there's always Vanilla.
I mean, like, there is a series of events. Sure, you got this guy that was in the military or whatever, and he's doing
Yeah.
odd jobs from pimping to playing fucking session work for a commercial company, I guess now. And
Yeah.
then his dad wants him to come home. His dad comes and visits, and they fucking get whores together. It's fucking weird. And then and his dad wants him to come home and work for the family business. And he's like, "No, Dad, I'm gonna do my own thing." And then there's this one chick, and she's kind of floozy, and he gets with her. She rejects another guy. They fucking get pregnant, and he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
man, let's kill the baby. I'll support you." There's like a feminism thing he's trying to go for here. I don't know. And all I know is by the end of the movie, they're not together. He sends her some kind. He decides to go home because I guess I don't know, redemption arc? Is that supposed to be growth for the
Yeah.
character? He actually goes home and he fucking regresses. I don't see how this was anything for the character. The father catches him and his wife. Well, I'm sure he told her about the whore. And he's sleeping in a tree. He sends some kind of letter or gift package to the girl who has since moved on, and I guess she had the baby. I don't fucking know. It's just like a series of stupid events. Like I don't know.
Yeah. It's just a series of vignettes with no real clear connective tissue. Because I watched the behind the scenes video, and yeah, even Romero's like, yeah, it's a piece of shit. There was like 5 pages that were written, and the rest they just made up on the spot as they were shooting, and it shows.
Bad, dude. I would just, and I don't give him a pass. I know some people have
Yeah.
been like, well, even Romero says this movie's a shit piece.
Yeah, no,
Like,
no.
you don't get a pass. Like, yeah, great, you made a shit piece. It's it's bad. Yeah, I would want to wipe this off the fucking planet. I would hate it if I was him. I'd be rolling over my grave when Arrow wants to put this shit out.
Hey, you're making money off of it.
Yeah.
I'd fucking take it too.
Oh, fucking bad. Well, I would have to do this. I would have had to have like recorded a new like introduction video, kind of like how James Cameron does with like his special editions. Like,
Yeah.
hi, what you're watching here is the intended version of Aliens. No, I would be like, look, I needed money. This movie's terrible, but I'm putting it out for you. It's a piece of history. It's shit, but it's archival. Let's just put it out. It makes you appreciate the good stuff more. I would have had to put something out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, what can you even classify this movie with a genre?
I mean, it's a romantic drama, sort of.
Is it? It's got guys hitting women.
Yeah.
It's got like rape attempts. It's like, what is this? It's very of the era, I guess. And who was it that got put in the hospital? I don't even remember. Was it
Doesn't
Barbara
matter.
from 9/11 Dead? I don't even remember who was playing who anymore. It's like he was trying to say something about feminism, and it kind of like a little bit of the shit to what we got in Season of the Witch, but female empowerment, great. I don't know. All right,
Too much has been said.
too much. We spent too much
Yeah.
time on it on the worst movie. Is this
Yeah.
me? This is me. What am I gonna get here? I gotta really rock the boat here.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Man.
Well, hey, we've already seen the worst. So
Yeah.
Diary. Where are we at here? Diary. No, where's Diary?
I think it's the last one.
No, that's Survival.
Oh.
Oh,
Did you forget Diary, dude?
No, I had it. Hold on, I'm gonna pick it out. Maybe the file was fucked up. Let me just double check. I'm gonna put it back in here real quick. Oh,
Oh.
well, I'll be dipped. Hold on, I had a diary, guys. I got to do this right.
I
I'm gonna
got a diary right here with all the movies written down.
hold on. Let me pull a diary of the dead here. Oh, you know what? This is what I was in the middle of looking for when you guys joined the chat, and I said I was going to go back and get it, and I think I forgot.
Okay.
And I was also very frustrated because there was like no pictures for this movie. It was like very hard to find anything. But we're just going to call this. We're going to call this the picture. No, it's an AVIF file. Fuck off.
What about the zombie getting stabbed right there?
Where? Right here.
Yeah.
All right. WBPF. See, this is the shit I was dealing with. This is why it was so hard finding this. It's like the world wants to forget it, but see, fuck it off, guys. All right. See,
Try IMDb.
You see how much people really appreciate this movie.
You
We're
get
gonna do it
certified
behind. We're gonna do
bonafide.
behind the scenes.
There we go.
Fuck it. We're gonna do behind the scenes. No, we're not, because the file. This is so stupid. You know what? This is it. This is the one, guys. Nobody gives a shit about this. There we go. Nobody gives a shit about this movie. It doesn't even have images online. So diary, great. Okay, now we're back in business, everybody.
Okay.
Let me upload it, and let me throw this where it fucking deserves, to rotten hell. Just kidding. It's not that bad. This is a C.
Blaine says diarrhea is diarrhea.
Yeah, it's a C. But like again, dude, it's a C because, well, first of all, the fact that this kills me that I have to put Dire the Dead over Bruiser, but this is not my doing. This is what Will decided to throw Bruiser randomly, but that's how it works. It's officially a D. That is gospel. There's no arguing it. But you know, the fact of the matter is Dire the Dead, it's not the worst in the series.
No, it's not terrible.
It's totally serviceable. It's fine. It's whatever. Nothing to write home about. Clearly, the military guy was so inspirational that they gave him his own movie in survival.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, isn't it kind of like a pain point to the fans that the only two movies that were ever officially connected were this and Survival? Like the two fucking, technically the two worst.
The military guy that nobody remembered. Yeah.
It's wild, man. But now, actually, this is kind of an interesting tidbit here. So where it is on here, I have the choice since it's my turn. I could put it here or there. If I had to sit through one of these movies tonight, I'm actually probably gonna watch Diary, because Crazies is still, we're still in that territory where it's a little hard to get through, but the concept's too cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. So I'm gonna leave it just as it is.
Like you're saying, I don't think Diary's bad, man. I enjoy it for what it is. It's not his worst by any means. I go back to it every once in a while, so I don't shut on it as much as a lot of people do.
When it first came out, I walked up to Kmart and I bought it, and
I enjoyed it when I first.
I invited a couple friends over, like, hey, let's watch this. It was pretty good, and I bought this in an anniversary edition of Night. It was like that DVD with like the red cover, the red anniversary edition or whatever, and I don't have any. It was the Dimension Extreme or whatever. Will is giving us googly eyes, so he must have something he's holding back.
Yeah, so Diary of the Dead, I didn't like this one. Like, I really didn't like it. I gave it an F.
Wow. What's up, Josh James in the chat here?
What's up, Josh?
An
Oh,
F.
Josh, you're alive.
But like I said, for me though, it's not about, dude, you really think it's worse than like, oh.
I mean, it's slightly better than There's Always a Vanilla, but that's not saying much.
What were your two? That was your two F movies? Vanilla and Diary?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh wow. Okay, fair enough. Man.
Because my problem with Diary of the Dead, it's a found footage movie made by a guy who clearly doesn't know how found footage works.
It was the first found footage movie, though, or one of the first.
What?
No.
Okay, so when this movie came out, we were having this discussion last week. It was so funny because George Romero's timing was shit. Same thing with Land of the Dead. Nobody appreciated Land of the Dead, and they didn't give him the money to make his sequel, and all those plans were scrapped. But if he just would have waited a little bit of time instead of rushing out Diary of the Dead, it was just going to be another year or two, and then Walking Dead was going to come out, and zombies were going to be all the rage.
Of the 2000s, it was one of the first found footage movies.
So when this movie came out, though, I remember I saw it, and I had my hesitations because I was a little eye rolly about it, because I'm like, really, found footage? This is so fucking 2000. This is so old. At the time, it was a dead genre. And I'm like, why is he tapping into this now? It's like he's a little late to the party. His timing was off. But then it turns out his timing was too early at the same time, because right after this, fucking Paranormal Activity came out and blew the genre up again. And I just feel like
Cloverfield and all those.
Yeah. I feel like if this would have came out, if he just would have waited another year or two, and then Paranormal Activity came out, he probably would have gotten more exposure for this. He might have gotten some more push, maybe some theater screens, something, because there was actual interest in movies that cost nothing to make. But yeah, anyway, it's just a what could have been thing. But yeah, I didn't mind it when it came out. It was whatever. I
Okay.
but is it do you hate the characters, Will?
Yeah, I mean the characters were just really cliche, and plus,
Yeah.
I mean, starting with Land, Romero was starting to get more on the nose with his social commentary. Diary is really just—it's not even subtle.
I I have to disagree. I mean, first of all, Night of the Living Dead had none, and then Dawn of the Dead was as on the nose as you can get. I think Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah.
the greatest in the series, is there's nothing subtle about, and you know, they're just they're just coming to the place they knew or whatever. It's like, all right, yeah, I get it, consumerism, blah blah. Blah, blah. But I always thought his writing and all that stuff, it's just not his strong suit, and like it's just a little the themes and stuff was a little try hard sometimes. I think unless we're talking about Dawn, which is amazing in every regard, outside of that, it's like he most of his harmless movies are the ones that aren't trying to fucking be heady, and it's just like, you know what, I'd rather watch Creep Show, I'd rather watch Bruiser, I'd rather watch, like
Okay.
when you get too heady, then we get Season of the Witch and we get
Yeah.
Vanilla, and you know,
Okay.
it's just my opinion. All right, who's next, Todd?
Yep.
I
Okay.
can't believe we still have the heavy hitters on here. Look at that. We got Night, we got Dawn, we got Martin, Music Part. These are
Oof.
no.
Oh.
I mean, it's fine. It's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be where I put it. So
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping to get something different, but yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
because it's not that interesting. So we've talked about this movie a million times, but Will, I'm more interested in what you think about Dawn and where you put it, because it's my S as well. It's my top.
I mean, Dawn is an S for me. I think the thing I like most about Dawn is just how it feels like an adventure that you're going
Uh-huh.
on with these characters.
Yeah, it's just not only is it his best movie, I think it's his only absolutely flaw. Even as much as I love Creep Show, this is the only one I could say is just flawless, 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It's lightning in a bottle. It's
Yeah.
just special, and everything else just it never had a chance. And I don't expect anything to come this close. That's why I'm not like trying to be hard on Day of the Dead. It's like I get it. It's just it's not going to capture that particular magic for me again. But this
Best
one's got it
characters,
all.
best atmosphere, man. It's
Yeah.
yeah, everything
Great
about it's great.
characters.
Yeah, best settings, set design. I mean, obviously they had a mall to work with, or not a whole,
Yeah.
but just I love the '70s vibe of it. You know how we said Bruiser has a '90s stink. This just has an awesome '70s stink about it, and this is where the schlock got good. We don't have a priest setting himself on fire and it turns to a crash test dummy. We got Tom Savini, rigging a fucking Puerto Rican's head with a condom and a balloon with chewed up hot dogs and ketchup and mustard. It's so cool. Like, everything's schlocky, but in the best way. It's just got so much style. I think visually speaking, it's the most attractive looking movie out of all his. It just looks great. I
Yeah.
love the blue zombies. I love the
I do
ultra
too.
red blood, which I know like crazies, and they had the ultra red blood thing going on too. But just look at that picture of Flyboy. Just look at that picture. Look how stark in contrast that is. The
He's
Yeah.
blue,
fantastic.
the
He's
Yeah.
a great
white,
zombie.
that red. Like, these shots are. I the iconic shots in Dawn of the Dead. I could frame them and put them on in my house, like frame them. They're art, and they're almost like pop art. Day of the Dead. I can't do that. It's just it's the exact opposite. Whereas Day of the Dead is super drab, dingy. It's doing that whole thing, and this is just so
Nobody's
colorful.
comparing those two.
But I am. But this is like a circus, from the goblin score, from the colors. It's just it couldn't be further removed from like Day, but I'm always gonna connect them. Sorry.
I'm
but-
not sorry.
All right. Well,
We got
Todd.
this, man. We got this by the ass.
All right. Is this Will? What's we gonna get here?
All right.
That's you. This is you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that's you.
Okay.
Oh, come on,
Ooh.
give me that survival, baby. Okay.
Oh, barely. Oh,
All right. That's
this
fine.
might be another controversial one.
Yeah. So for me, D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because there's just too much. Like I said, the competition is so stiff. Now the more interesting conversation is where on this D am I going to move it to? This movie's fucking terrible. But you know what? I would rather watch this tonight than have to sit through fucking Monkey Shines because it puts you to sleep, and Season of the Witch tonight. Because this movie's bad, but you can get through it. You know what it reminded me of? It reminds me of a really bad Walking Dead episode. like,
Yeah,
like
I can see it.
a really poor man's Walking Dead episode, and just I don't know. Like I said, look at this line here. These are all terrible in my opinion, and just at this point, it's a race to which one am I going to be able to get through without like having intrusive thoughts, and that's probably survival. That's just my opinion. But thoughts?
No, I'm with you on that. D.
Horse
Yeah.
riding, horseback zombies.
I mean,
Anybody?
I kind of like the whole Hatfields versus McCoy premise with
Oh.
it being on island, but I mean, it honestly felt like Romero was just directing on autopilot with survival.
It's
Well, CGI is terrible, man.
Oh yeah,
and I feel at this point in his career, he's just there's people that have done these themes better and they beat him to it.
yeah,
Like, okay, he might have been forward thinking early on in his career. He's the godfather of this modern zombie. But now
Mhm.
it's like, now we're really going to tackle like the argument of like the valuing of life. Like, do we keep them? It's like,
Yeah.
dude, literally all this shit has since been done by Walking Dead and every other zombie movie, blah, 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 blah. It just was so lame. It just, it kind of reminded me of, if a student was tasked to try and emulate Romero in like his theme, I don't know, it just was bad. The biggest thing though is I just can't believe when you watch this is the same guy who did Dawn of the Dead or even Day of the Dead or Night of the Living Dead, but just dude, the fucking gap between this and Dawn is like unheard of because this is I don't know, this is it wasn't overly long, so I'm not going to give it like a 1 out of 10. But it's a fucking 2 or it's bad.
Okay, so where would you put this against the Dawn or Day of the Dead remake? So this or
Ooh.
Day of the Dead remake?
Well, the Day of the remake's really bad, and I haven't watched that one in about 5 years. I don't know. I can't. No comments. I'd have to watch. I'd have to see which one's harder to get through.
Day of the Dead remake's harder, man.
I'd have to. We'd have to do like a shoot off where it's like,
maybe
okay,
a
watch both of
smidge
them now.
better. It's pretty close though.
Yeah, but wait, sorry, Will. Where did you put this on your list?
Well,
You clearly like it better than Diary, which is kind of a mind blow.
yeah. So okay, I'm confessing here for a moment. Survival is a C.
Ooh, okay. No, fair enough. Why? So what
fine.
makes you
Well, I mean, obviously, one because it's an actual movie compared to Diary of the Dead, and like I said, some of the ideas and themes behind it, they're okay. Like you said, they've been done better, but they're okay. And it's again for me, it was much more watchable compared to Diary of the Dead, where the whole time I'm just like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like it was
Yeah,
watchable and enjoyable enough.
it just felt like a bad episode of Walking Dead. I've
Yeah.
gotten through some episodes of
It's
Walking Dead. It's
Yeah.
you kind of know where it's going. It's just kind of by numbers.
yeah,
Yeah, I was, and I don't think it was long. Wasn't it actually under 90 minutes? It wasn't long.
somewhere around there.
The fucking
Yeah.
thing's like 80 minutes. I'm like, dude, you already got me hard. Thank you. At this point in his filmography, after watching all this shit all month, when I saw like 88 minutes, dude, I had a half chub. I'm like, come on, Daddy Romero, you got me. You fucking got me with this one. But
That's what's interesting about this tier list, though. A Romero tier list is everybody's is different, which
Yeah.
is cool because I mean, some tier lists, I mean, it'd be exactly the same, but
Yeah.
that's cool that you actually dug it
I
more
will
than we
say,
did, at least.
I will say, even Romero's really, really bad movies, and I'm not saying like they're all great or anything, but even in his like worst movies, man, he never had like the worst actors.
No.
Yeah.
You know, even in like Vanilla, like the actors are clearly talented. They got nothing to fucking work with, but they're in it. And even, I mean, even Survival, I could imagine work. But in Survival, you had that like low rent Terrence Stamp, like whoever that guy, the Hatfield guy. He looks just like fucking
Yeah.
bootleg Terrence Stamp. I had to like Google. It's like, is this his brother? What the hell's going on here? But I've just seen worse movies with like really bad acting. So at least he was okay in that department. All right, so we're
Is it
down
my
to it.
turn?
Is it
Yeah.
is it
Will.
his turn? Will. Okay. Well,
Wait. Is it?
what?
Who
Who
got
just
Yeah,
went?
survival?
Oh, I got survival, so it's Will.
yeah. Oh,
Hell
this
yeah.
is easy.
Easy,
This
huh?
is
Where's it going?
S.
This is your S?
Yes,
Nice. Do you put it above day or sorry, dawn or below dawn? You get to choose.
I put it above Dawn.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I respect it. Yeah.
it's like this. So, Night of the Living Dead is sort of like kick-started it all free in regards to like discovering Romero's movies.
Mhm.
Because you have to remember, I'm not like y'all who grew up on horror movies. I didn't discover horror proper until I was like 19 or 20. So
Mm.
so it's like I didn't see Night of the Living Dead proper until like years later when I found like
Mhm.
the VHS at thrift store.
Mm.
And honestly, the first time I watched it, and multiple rewatches since, it's a movie that just keeps growing on me. I appreciate it for a variety of reasons, from the fact that it's low budget, but it's low budget done really well because
Yeah.
they isolate it to just one location for most of the movie, giving you snippets of what's going on outside. The acting, yeah, some of it's hit and miss, but by and large, yeah, I really dig the acting. I dig the characters, especially Ben and Cooper and their whole dynamic. There's just a lot I love about Night of the Living Dead.
Great cast. I think it's a great cast. I think the characters are fantastic, and yeah, everything you said, ditto. Because
Yeah.
he made the prototype. And
Mhm.
so now it's like, if somebody made a movie like this today, it's considered cliche. Like, oh, we're doing the house, or like we're the Evil Dead. You're doing the Cabin in the Woods movie. This is like an Evil Dead, where it's like, well, they were the prototype. They were the first one to do it, and it's like back then this was forward thinking. And yeah, if you're on a budget, it's brilliant. It's like, hey, let's have this swarm of things. Let's all be locked up in a house, and when you watch the movie, and this movie, like, I think it's a fluke, because I do, because we saw his
Yeah.
next three movies, total fluke. But it's a great fluke because some of that weird wonky Romero stuff that plagues the next three movies is kind of here, but it works. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little disorienting and claustrophobic in a good way. He's doing all those weird ass fucking camera shots, but everything in this fucking movie is like a close up or a medium shot. There's no wide shot. The only wide shots you get are when, like you said, they check in with the outside and you see the
Yeah.
fucking zombies coming in. But everything else in the house is so in your face, which I
Mhm.
guess, depending on the house, if you've got tight corners, and I don't know what kind of lenses he was dealing with, but the whole movie's like really in your face, and it kind of works for it.
Mhm.
It makes you feel like you're on the staircase with everybody, and or you're in the cellar or whatever. Um, but it's great. I think it's a fantastic movie. You get to see black and white titties, man, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it was
And a booty.
and a
Yep. Yeah.
and a booty. Like, Todd, what we already talked a lot about this movie recently, but what do you want to put a stamp on with it?
It's tough, man. I mean, these are all. I mean, of course, Dawn's my favorite, and I totally respect people like Night best. Night, like I said, it's my go-to Halloween movie, man. It's one that I appreciate more and more as I get older,
Mm-hmm.
and I just love everything about it, man. So this is another one, man. The this looks phenomenal on like a Blu-ray or a 4K edition. It looks so good in black and
Yeah.
white. And it's probably one of the last black and white movies. And of course, we were talking about it. It should have been shot in color.
They
But
they had already gone color by this time. I mean, like I said, that's all like just budget shit, I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, what's there to be said about this? I mean, it's phenomenal.
yeah, it always makes it feel like it's older than it is. You're like, oh wait,
Yeah.
what year did this come out? It's got that vibe. But
Yeah.
um,
Can
yeah,
I get my thoughts on the remake quickly?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think the remake is fine, but pointless.
I mean, it's
Because I mean, really, aside from making Barbara a badass, not much else is different from the original.
and the ending, the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're just trying to make Romero money because he didn't make any on the first
Yeah.
film.
there's something about this one being black and white that I don't know why that automatically makes it feel like, oh, okay, it stands apart enough to from having one in the early '90s or whatever in color, and I don't
Yeah.
know, I don't know why that gets a pass because yeah, if that movie came out today, I'd be like all up its ass, like why are they remaking this? It's probably just double standard. I'm probably like I grew up with it. It's just like, oh wait, I watched it when I was a kid, and I think I'm pretty sure I saw the remake before I saw the original. You know, the original came out when I was just like in kindergarten. You know, I was like, so that's probably all it is. You know,
Yeah.
but and so for me, if it's not for me, that it was in my A. Like for me personally, it would have went Dawn S. I put Creep Show S, and then it would have been Night and Day in the A category. But
Okay.
yeah, like we're in this echelon here where it's like you could just kind of mix everything up. Okay, so Todd's next, so whatever he gets, I get the other.
Okay.
There you go.
Ah, damn it.
Where do you put the amusement park?
A.
You put this in A? This is really in your
I'm
A?
just kidding. Yeah, we can't do A's. So we have 2 A's. No, it's not in my A's.
Well,
so,
put
okay,
put it wherever you put it.
So we have from what you sent me, we have 2 S's, 2 A's, 4 B's, 4 C's, 3 D's, 2 F's.
Oh shit, we're gonna have to adjust it after. We'll adjust it after. So put it wherever it is on your list, and we'll fuck around with this because we have 4 on D, which is a no. We'll fix that.
Okay, so I put this.
Okay.
I actually put this in a B.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Wait.
B? Oh, B. Is that right?
I had it in B, yes, and I had it above Land. I put it right there.
Okay.
I mean, of course, I put it ahead of what's that one? Not Dark Half, Two Evil Eyes, but I'll leave it right there. Solid, man. I'm glad they actually put this out. I wasn't expecting anything from it. It's fun, like we said a million times. The Twilight Zone episode about getting older. It's not even a film. It's a PSA. But something about it. The main character, the old geezer, man, he really is very effective in it. So if you haven't watched it, I think it might still be on Shudder. So check it out on Shudder. And
it's a fever dream, yeah, man.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
It's really hard to really judge it on the merit of a movie because I think as a PSA, it's amazing. You know, kind of like that Resident Evil commercial is amazing. It's kind of got that. It seems like the natural progression because this came right after Crazies, right, or before Crazies. Which one was it?
I think it was after.
Yeah, I think it was right after Crazies. And it's still kind of he's tapping into something here. But then I also watch this and I wonder, wow, is this maybe what like the Crazies or something could have been if it was really short like this one? Because once again, this is kind of the what if moment where there's so many movies in his filmography here that I think would have been so much better as like a Twilight Zone episode or a Tales from the Crypt. And this is proof. Yeah. And it's like, dude, like if this movie was 2 hours, it might have fucking sucked. I think if this movie was 2 hours, it would have been nothing but him wandering around that fucking park.
Terrible.
And you would have spent for 30 you're like, okay, well, I got everything out of this in the first 40 minutes. And then you would have been done.
We could have put his Tales from the Dark Side episode on here too, because that's actually really cool too.
But that's I don't know. We had to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah.
But I guess we could have. Because isn't it really fair to judge a Tales from the Dark Side episode against a, Dawn of the Dead or whatever? I don't know. But we did.
Well, that's what an amusement park is, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. All right, so I still have to spin it. All right, Martin. Come on, Martin. Yay. All right. So for me, well, we're going to have to adjust it because there's no room, but we'll do that after. For me, Martin was the high end of the B.
Mine too.
Same. I agree.
And I've been on record this month, actually last month too. when I revisited it, I was base pilled. Like I got it as an adult. Like I understood it more, and it was very interesting. Great premise, great characters. This is a thinking man's. Out of all his movies, this is the one that makes you think a little bit.
It's his
More.
favorite movie.
Is it his favorite movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a character study. This one's actually like a character study. So I think it's a pretty high mark for him. So now we have to actually adjust it because we can't leave it like this, right? Because we have our limitations. So S and A are good, 2 apiece. We can only have 4 on B. C's looking a little naked. We have to move. We have to get rid of 1D. So
Okay.
basically, we have to move 2 to C.
We'll move Land down and move Bruiser up.
Yeah, move Land down.
Let me think.
It's a C.
God, but I don't know. I can get through Land easier than Night Riders. And once again, that 2.5 hours, dude. It'll
That's
fuck
you.
you every
That's
time.
you, my friend. That's you. It's
But-
either that or
Yeah.
Bruiser. Bruiser's going up or one's going down.
Oh no. Well, no, because we got to pull one
Oh,
from
yes.
D too. We got to move 1 up from D.
Yeah.
And so is Bruiser
Moving
going up to C?
Bruiser up. Yeah.
Okay, I agree, 100%. And in fact, can I please put Bruiser up here?
I don't care where you put
Can I
it.
put it above Crazies?
You're fine.
And then
We won't judge.
So in my opinion,
I know what your opinion is, but
I feel like Night Riders has to go.
no, it's not
No.
going. It's
Land.
a better film than Land.
I'm
Land
getting
of the
out. I'm getting outvoted. So we're
Yes.
gonna put Amusement Park, which is a PSA outlier, ahead too.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna argue with you guys, but
You can put it wherever you want down and see.
okay. I think it has to go here.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this is it, guys. This is the gospel. The greatest George Romero movies all time in order. There is no fucking arguing in this house. This is the way it is. Fuck Bloody Disgusting. Fuck Watch Mojo. They don't know dick. This is it. The greatest Romero movie of all time is Night of the Living Dead. Sadly, the second greatest of all time is Dawn of the Dead.
Say that again, boy. Say that again.
The second greatest movie of all time is Dawn of the Dead, followed by Creepshow, then Day, and then we got Martin, then we got Two Evil Eyes, then we got Knight Rider, then we got Night Riders, we got Music Park, we got Bruiser, we got John Leguizamo, we got The Crazies, Diary of the Dead. I am blown away that Survival of the Dead is that high. Monkey Shine's really getting no love. I thought Monkey Shines was going to come out ahead of some of these, but not for me. Season of the
They
Witch,
tried.
and I'm actually shocked that the Dark Half ended up on
I
F.
hate the dark half.
It's not good, but dude, it's just very. I don't know. Dark Half is the second worst and the worst movie of all time that I think we all agree on is There's Always Vanilla.
There's always shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's pretty
there's-
vanilla.
There's always the runners.
Well,
there's always
vanilla
the squirts.
has actual flavor. That movie didn't.
There you go. Peak American Cinema, Blaine. Yep. So thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. We're going to go ahead and call it there. I want to make sure you guys, of course, like the channel, like the stream, follow us, check out all other content. Make sure to follow Gamer Guy. Give him the actual YouTube channel.
All right, the channel is Gamer Guys Reviews. It should be easy to look up and subscribe to. If it isn't, you must be blind.
Absolutely. They might be. Don't offend them. Maybe
Oh,
they are.
my
Maybe there's
bad.
like a guy with Braille like listening to us. Yeah, so follow Will, and if you want to support us further, we do have Patreon. Buy a t-shirt. We're on Twitch. You know, we're all these different places you kids hang out, right? So
I was representing for y'all tonight.
oh, stand
Hell
up. I
yeah,
didn't see
man.
it.
That's
Well, you got to
awesome.
like show it, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude,
That's cool.
awesome.
I didn't even
I love it.
hell yeah, stand up. I want to see that a little clearer. Don't stretch it. Oh, is that just a classic wow.
That's cool,
Yes.
man.
Is that a new one?
It's the one that's like the Tarantino style.
Oh, Zach, I didn't realize that one was there.
Yeah.
Where it's like the fonts, yeah, they're not like aligned. Cool.
I
Yeah,
like
that one rules.
Yeah, I also have the BTM logo shirt.
So you guys can pick that up, and one of these days, whenever River actually wants to make that VHS positive shirt, you guys can buy that too. From Vinny
I'm
Riley.
not. You can make it. I'm not gonna wear it, but you can make it.
People are gonna have like that, like not a Freudian slip, but what's that thing? It's like where you like see it out of your peripheral and you think it says what you think it says, and you're like, that guy is HIV positive, like, and they're just gonna like take that and play telephone. But
You're gonna walk
anyway,
around with your old lady, man. Yeah, she's gonna
why
love it.
didn't we remember that was in the running for video rot? We could have called it VHS positive. I still think that would as a great.
Somebody suggested it, but no, it wasn't my running.
All right, guys, catch you later. Bye bye.
Bye, studs.